It's time to explore a country that for some reason is often overlooked, but one that I'm glad I was introduced to several years ago. It's a country with so much to see, I'll need to share it with you in two parts. Armenia. Armenia is one of those countries that I'd often heard about, but I'm embarrassed to say that if you tested me more than just a few years ago, I probably couldn't have even found it on a map. The Republic of Armenia, as it's officially called, is a landlocked country situated in the Armenian highlands of Western Asia and has a population estimated at around 3 million people. It's part of the Caucasus region and bordered to the west by Turkey, to the north by the Republic of Georgia, to the east by Azerbaijan, and with Iran and the Azerbaijani exclave of Nakhchivan to the south. To be clear, this is an overview of just some of the highlights of Armenia, presented in a logical order of travel and as we visit them on my Treasures of Armenia and Georgia tour. In future videos, I'll go into much more detail on select locations, but for now, I'd just like to give you a taste of each. With a population of around 1.1 million, Yerevan is the capital of Armenia and considered to be one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world, with history dating back to the 8th century BC. That said, its center is extremely modern, but also punctuated by more classic architecture, and probably not at all what you'd expect. There's so much to see and do here, but two of the highlights of Yerevan for me are the Cascade and the Central Market. I love markets. The Cascade is a massive limestone stairway begun in 1971, and it connects the downtown Kentron area of Yerevan with the Monument neighborhood. The exterior of the Cascade has multiple levels accented with fountains and modernist sculptures. The stairs give walkers unobstructed views of central Yerevan and the stunning Mount Ararat, which can be seen on a clear day looming in the distance. Don't worry, if you're not much for stairs, there's a series of escalators that can effortlessly take you up and down. At the base of the Cascade is a very nice garden courtyard with impressive statues by contemporary sculptors including Botero, Lynn Chadwick, and Barry Flanagan. Yerevan's Central Market is a must-visit site, if nothing else than to see the colorful products and to taste the many samples you'll surely be offered. There are gorgeous displays of dried and candied fruits, nuts, cheese, lavash bread, and more. Central Market is worth at least an hour's visit, and if you're not filled up by all the generous samples, stick around and have lunch as the food is out of this world. Other sites not to be missed in and around Yerevan include Zvartnots, Echmadzin, Republic Square, the Opera House, as well as the Armenian Genocide Memorial Complex, a moving site dedicated to the victims of the Armenian Genocide. Khor Virap, which roughly translates to Deep Dungeon, is an Armenian monastery located directly south of Yerevan. From the hilltop on which the monastery was built, Mount Ararat, thought to be the final resting place of Noah's Ark, can be seen in the distance, and interestingly enough, it's actually located just across the nearby border in Turkey. I highly recommend getting here early, as it's an easy day trip from the capital and the tour bus crowds do gather throughout the day. I also recommend making a quick stop just before arriving at the site to get those iconic shots of Khor Virap seemingly floating just in front of snow-capped Mount Ararat in the distance. Plan to spend at least an hour at this incredible site and look for the small chapel where worshipers can be seen lighting candles and making offerings. Just be ready for some very low-light photography. Finally, once you've had a chance to explore the interior complex, be sure to make the short walk outside the walls and above the monastery to get an overall perspective of it. This is a must. Noravank, which in Armenian literally means new monastery, is a 13th century Armenian monastery situated just 122 kilometers from Yerevan and can be combined with your visit to Khor Virap with no problem. It's a short drive off the main road through a stunningly beautiful narrow gorge. This part of Armenia truly reminded me of the southwestern United States, with its often stark landscapes accented by sheer cliff walls of multicolored stone formed by a peaceful river still flowing below. As always, if possible, get here early as it can be very crowded and parking is extremely limited. If you're looking for some peaceful rest and relaxation, it's definitely worth spending a night or two in the gorgeous spa town of Jermuk. Located just over an hour's drive east of Noravank, Jermuk is famous for its hot springs, fresh mountain air, waterfalls, steep river gorge, various hiking trails, and of course the opportunity to partake in any number of spa treatments that can be arranged by your hotel. I purposely scheduled my trip to Armenia and Georgia for the fall, which is a gorgeous time of year to be here. As you can see, the colors change and it's simply spectacular. Be sure to visit a popular place in Jermuk called the Gallery, where people bring empty bottles to collect the mineral water coming from the depths of the earth in varying temperatures and thought to cure any number of ailments. To me, the highlight of this visit is an easy walk we take as a group through Jermuk Canyon, which culminates in an impressive waterfall. Next, we head north to the small village of Noratus, situated on the shores of Lake Sevan. In this village is a very large cemetery featuring more than 700 hand-carved khachkars, which are unique Armenian monuments, here used as headstones, but also with many other uses as well. Khachkars are said to be characteristic of medieval Christian Armenian art, and in part 2 of this video, we'll visit the studio of one of the friendliest locals I've met anywhere in the world, Mr. Bogdan. He's a master carver of khachkars and has been for decades, and he's quite a singer as well. There we'll learn much more about the history and meaning of these ancient and more modern works of art. Lake Sevan is a large, high-altitude lake located in eastern Armenia. Set on a narrow peninsula, the Sevanavank Monastery has 2 stone churches dating from the 9th century and offering incredible views over Lake Sevan. Although the immediate surrounding area is quite touristy with a lot of souvenir shops, restaurants, and other vendors, a walk up the approximately 200 steps to the monastery is well worth the effort. Well, I sure hope you enjoyed this video about the highlights of Armenia, and be sure to seek out part 2 of this series where we'll explore another alpine village called Dilijan, as well as visit a Russian family in a Malakan village nearby. We'll also make a stop at the hidden Hagarchtin Monastery, visit Mr. Bogan's private studio in the town of Vanadzor, stop in Gyumri for the night to walk around and meet a local blacksmith, and finally, we'll visit the impressive sites of Geghard and Garni, where we'll see how they make Armenian lavash and have one of the most memorable lunches I think I've had anywhere. If you'd like to experience each of these locations in person, you can get more information about my upcoming Treasures of Armenia and Georgia trip by clicking the link in the description below. Question of the day: have you been to Armenia? Which of these sites would you most like to visit? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed part 1 in this series about travel to Armenia, then please share it with other great travelers like yourself and give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Next, head on over to the continentaldrifter.co website for more interesting travel and photography tips and to get my latest download. And remember, drifters, life's too short not to travel.